Welcome back for Psalm 4 now. If you are watching these back to back, Psalm 3 into Psalm 4, you will be well aware of the context of Psalm 3 and therefore familiar with the context for Psalm 4. If not, go back and read Psalm 3 really quickly, or just the heading rather. This is David when he is fleeing from Absalom, and the content in these Psalms and how they are included one right after the other shows that the context is the same. In Psalm 3, we see David pretty much just talking to the Lord about the problem that he faces and the refuge that he is seeking in the Lord. In Psalm 4, we have a prayer which begins as a prayer and then shifts to an address to his enemies, followed by an address to his friends, and then again and then closes with a prayer to the Lord. And so it's interesting to see sometimes we get lost in our own prayers. We start praying to the Lord and then we think through the situation and responses that we might have to different people. And then we come back and we finish our prayer. Doesn't happen to just you. Happens to everyone. Happens to David. And we see the benefit of that and the encouragement in that. The confidence, note the confidence that David has in his prayer. He knows that God has been faithful in the past. And so he's not afraid to make demands almost of the Lord. Answer me, Lord, when I call to you. David expects an answer. And he can expect an answer because God has promised to hear the prayers of his people. And then just the warning that David offers to those who oppose God. What an important reminder for us not to shirk our duty to call people to repentance, whether they're in our family circle or our friends. It's important to remind them that the Lord has set apart the godly for himself, and we truly wish that they would give up the delusions of their heart and that they turn back to him. And then the reminder to his friends is also a reminder to us. When we're angry, there certainly is such a thing as righteous anger, but very often our anger, even if it starts there, can quickly descend into unrighteous anger that is more upset about our pride being wounded than it is about God's honor being attacked, his glory turned into shame. So the reminder, when you, in your anger, do not sin, search your heart and be silent. What an important reminder. When we're angry at others for the stupid, the wicked, the sinful things that we see or perceive them to be doing, it's very easy to assume a position of false righteousness. But when we search our own hearts, we need to remember that we can be just as sinful in our own thoughts, in our own actions, in our own words. And so we offer the right sacrifices when we recognize that. The sacrifices of God are a contrite heart. God does not despise that. So we offer those right sacrifices. We confess our sin, and God is faithful. He gives us more joy with the knowledge of our forgiveness than any amount of material blessing could bring. The way that David words that is neat. See, all the joy that anyone can have over material blessing and prosperity, our joy over the spiritual blessings that God has given us is even greater than that. So much so that even in the face of a lack of material blessing and or prosperity, we can still be content. We can still lie down and go to sleep in peace. Let's hear those words from Psalm 4 then. Answer me when I call to you, O my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Be merciful to me and hear my prayer. How long, O men, will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that the Lord has set apart the godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call to him. In your anger, do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Offer right sacrifices and trust in the Lord. Many are asking, who can show us any good? Let the light of your face shine upon us, O Lord. You have filled my heart with greater joy than when their grain and new wine abound. I will lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Just that closing note then about the trust in the Lord, who can show us any good? At times, things can be pretty bad in our life, and we might be the type of people that David is quoting here. Who can show me anything good? Trust in the Lord. With him is forgiveness, and he will let the light of his face shine upon us so we can lie down and rest securely.